Okay, time for another reaction, and today I'm reacting to a video by Dr. Harley. You'll find him on YouTube, um, and it's called BTS, Psychologist Examines Silver ARMY. One day you'll be 40 if you're lucky. Well, way over 40. I'm 61 now, but yeah, this should be interesting. I've had it on my watch later list and waiting for an opportunity to sit down and watch it. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, and I've got my 3-day pass for August D, the last D-Day concerts, tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday night. So I'm really excited for that and looking forward to it. 9 p.m. tonight is the concert, so I've got time to do this and make dinner, hopefully, and then sit down and relax and watch it. So I'm so looking forward to it. I watched the 2 D-Day and Seoul concerts, the live streaming, and it was fantastic. So yeah, I think these 3 will be just as good. So anyway, before I get into this, I just want to say I've been a fan for nearly 6 years. So it was late 2017, and I remember that because I'd been watching Men on a Mission for quite a while, and Heechul from Super Junior is one of the regular cast members on that. And so I got into Super Junior, and then Big Bang, Block B, and BTS, plus some other variety of other different songs from other artists. But I remember in December when Jonghyun from Shiny, I apologise if I pronounced his name badly, but I remember how sad it was, and I didn't really know anything about Shiny at the time, but I remember how sad it was when he passed away, and that also got me thinking about the mental health in the K-pop industry. And I'm not too concerned about BTS members in general, but I've seen a lot of lives that Jungkook has done. I've seen like short clips of them on YouTube, and I think he is such an emotional, sensitive young man. He does worry me sometimes, so I hope that I know they support each other really, really well. I know Sugar has had a lot of mental health issues with depression. Um, so yeah, I do get concerned about the mental health of the members, and Jungkook, I think, at the moment is the one who I'm most concerned about, because when you see how upset and how annoyed he gets with some of the stupid comments that people make, it's just ridiculous. You would think that anyone who considered themselves to be a true fan wouldn't do that to him. There was one I was watching recently, and one of the fans kept telling him, "Stop ignoring me. You're not reading my comments. Don't ignore me." As if there weren't many other fans on there commenting, and surely they would have to realise he cannot just focus on one and ignore all the others. He's trying to do the best that he can and answer people's comments, which is a lot to expect when there's so many. So um, yeah, that's one of the concerns I have for Jungkook, and the fact that he does seem like very gentle young man, very sensitive, um, very emotional. So which I think Jonghyun from Shiny, I think he was very sensitive and emotional too, from what I can gather. And I remember when I didn't know who it was at first when I heard that he'd passed away. But as soon as I saw him, I recognised him because I had seen him on another members of Shiny. I had seen them on Men on a Mission, and I remember on his last appearance on Men on a Mission, he didn't seem, he wasn't happy. There was something that came across as he came across as being very, very sad. Even when they were doing this, the funny, silly skits and everything on the show, he still came across as being quite sad. And I don't think it was very long after that episode that he did pass away. So I think mental health problems are a big issue with K-pop industry in general. So yeah, I just hope that the companies are more aware of it now and provide more support for their artists, because it's not a good thing. It's terrible. Anyway, I've had my rant. Let's get into this and see what Dr. Harley has to say. Look at me. He's having a ball.
Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Harley. I have a doctorate in clinical psychology and have practiced psychology and taught psychology throughout my entire career. And I would hope that if you enjoy the content that I bring you, please...
Sorry, just pause that for a moment. You'll have to excuse me. I've had a bit of a virus, not the C virus, but I've had a virus and I'm trying so hard not to cough. So I'll just... If I cough, I'm sorry.
Press the subscribe button. Appreciate that. So today I want to focus on a particular group within the ARMY fan base. We know that ARMY is a worldwide fan base made up of a diverse population of people. Within that fan base, there's a unique group, and that group is often referred to as Silver ARMY, or the older or elder members of the BTS fan club. And of course, Silver ARMY is a name that we address the American fan base, the elder American fan base with. But across the globe, there are other communities. For example, the Titas of the Philippines. They're a group of elder aunties who have organized to share their love of BTS. It's quite amazing. Way to go, ladies. What's really important here, guys, is as it relates to the elder fan base, it is an often overlooked group of people within the BTS fan base, the older fans. We really haven't gotten the recognition that has been deserving in terms of the contribution that we make to the BTS fan community. The thing that makes us different so much is not just the age range that separates us, it's the life experiences that we've accumulated that sets us apart from the younger fan base. So we can take on another perspective, a fuller, wider perspective than a younger fan can. Let's just take a look at the beautiful faces of our elder group of fans, and we can see the joy coming out of their faces as they express their love for BTS. Take a look.
I'm Army and I'm 41.
I am Army, j'ai 42 ans.
I am 56 years old.
I'm Army, I'm 57.
At 66, I'm a big fan of BTS. May your day shine bright.
I'm BTS Army, I'm 71, and my bias is RM.
I'm dedicated Army. I'm 72 years old.
One of the things then we see right away that separates the older and younger fans. There's clearly the age, but within that age group, there are certain psychological and physical changes that occur that set us apart from the younger fan base. It invigorates us emotionally and psychologically and physically. So there's a positive mental health reward for being part of this fan group. It is indeed a mentally healthy choice for sure.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think it's partly the message that BTS is sending in their music. Um, Basically, about learning to love yourself, realizing that you are good enough and that you can do things. I think that's a lot to do with it, because I've gone through life basically feeling self-conscious, never feeling like I'm good enough, and had an ex-husband who thought I wasn't good enough. So, but anyway, and I think there's a lot of it. Try to ignore the negative feelings that are brought on by people who maybe don't have your best interest at heart, because really it's only you have your best interest at heart, and you have to believe that. And I think a lot of times we don't believe in ourselves as well, and we need to do that, and we need to believe that we can do things and we are worthwhile people. um, I think that's a lot to do with it. And as for the age thing, like, it's good to see groups who have gotten together. Like, I think it's good. It promotes a sense of community. Like Dr. Harley was saying, Silver Army in America and the ladies in the Philippines. I personally don't know if there are older Australian Army. I guess there are. I don't really know anyone personally. Um, it's sort of like I don't mind being isolated or whatever. I don't mind not having a group of like-minded friends. I think I like to be an individual, like to be different in a way. Like I always have been, in a way, more of a solitary person rather than having a community or something like that. I'm a bit of a loner, so to me, I don't mind the fact that I personally don't know any other fans in the area or in my family or whatever. I'm quite happy about that. It's something I get to enjoy for me, like the music and the funny Run BTS episodes and things like that. It's something for me. It's something personal for me, and I think, I mean, I've never even contemplated doing YouTube videos before, so I guess that's something that maybe I, I don't know. It's hard to put into words because it's like a process. My anxiety gets so bad. Every time I want to do a video, I get really, really anxious about doing it. So it takes quite a while to psych myself up to actually sit in front of the camera and do this. But it's something I want to do, and it's something that I've never wanted to do before. So I guess in a way that's a positive thing that I've learned through being a fan of BTS, is maybe um, learning to overcome the fear of doing something and not letting anxiety stop me from doing something that I would like to do. So yeah, I guess in a way that's something different for me.
Because it promotes feelings of happiness and satisfaction. That's what we're looking for. And BTS can aid us in that pursuit. Listen to some of the stories that our elder members have told us about their experience emotionally with BTS.
I cannot tell you how happy I am at the age of 68 to know that I have found something that keeps me interested in music and in other parts of the world. I am just a really happy person. I was before, but I'm like 1,000 times happier than I used to be.
They say that half of what makes medicine work is mind over matter. The other half is the medicine. I think BTS was my mind over matter.
Like, I'm still out here enjoying the music and being entertained by everything they do, whether it's the run episodes, the V-Lives, the Weavers posts, Twitter posts. No matter what these kids do, it's entertaining and it's fun and it brings happiness and joy.
So it seems that BTS and happiness seem to go together, don't they?
I agree with what that lady just said about fun. And I think that's something that you forget about as you get older. You don't seem to have as much fun in your life if you remember running around and playing as a child, and then you're an adult and you've got a family to raise and responsibilities and things like that. So I think I agree with the fun part. Just watching the episodes of Run BTS and things like that, it's fun, pure and simple fun, and it makes you laugh. And when you see their interaction and when you see how much fun they get out of doing things like that, and I think that's part of the appeal too.
And what's also cool for the elder BTS fans is that so many of us have been introduced to BTS through our children, through our grandchildren or other relatives. And one day I just, listening to my 7-year-old grandson at the time just bopping his head, and as I walked closer to him, I could hear him singing smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover. And I'm thinking, wow, that is a really cool beat. Who are you singing? Well, he told me. And ever since then, obviously, I've been a fan, but it's also been an area or topic that my grandson and I can relate to. And that just another...
Yeah, see, that's different to me, but I think a lot of people would have been introduced to BTS that way. With me, like I said, it was through watching Men on a Mission and getting into other groups, and then sitting there and watching other group videos on YouTube, and then starting to watch BTS videos on YouTube as well. And I think one of the very first songs that I fell in love with was Blood, Sweat and Tears. I loved the video for that. But also there was Fire, Not Today was another one. So, oh, excuse me. So, yeah, so that's how I got into them, was just watching other groups on YouTube and then just starting to watch BTS on YouTube. But speaking of grandson, I have a grandson who is now 5, but he's been enjoying listening to BTS in my car every time he's in my car since I was picking him up at daycare, probably when he was 3. So, yeah, it was me that introduced my grandson to BTS, so it's kind of in reverse. But he really only has 1 or 2 songs that he really loves that I have to put on repeat in the car. But yeah, never know. One day he might start branching out and liking other songs. We're going to play.
Sort of area that brings us closer. Thank you, Isaac.
She said, Mom, there's this group that you really need to hear. Here's a song. It's called First Love. And she had some struggles, and she really wanted me to listen to that song. And she said, you know, Mom, they talk about mental health. And then it was blood, sweat, and tears.
It's really helped grow the bond with my oldest daughter, who is also Army.
My niece was raving about them. She kept saying BTS, BTS, and I didn't even know what that was. And so I said, well, let me hear some of this music. And I started listening to them as often as I could.
These are moments that Elder Army and the younger generation of Army fans can connect on. And through this connection, Elder Army can create memories, fond memories that can be drawn upon later as feel-good experiences. Being part of Older Army does have some, I guess you would say, drawbacks. There are some of us older BTS fans who may feel insecure about following a young boy band. And there have been other BTS fans who have been outwardly bullied or criticized for their love of this.
I can understand that. I haven't been bullied or criticised. My daughter thinks I'm silly, but that's nothing. And but yeah, kind of feel a bit like I don't know how to say it, like they're too young, or I'm too old to enjoy their music or enjoy watching their videos. It's sort of like, because there's such a big age gap from the group and the older people watching them, it's kind of like, yeah, I can understand that in a way, and people getting the wrong idea, like, especially when you're starting to collect things like the CDs with the picture books and photo cards and things like I've started collecting. Yeah, it might come across to people as a bit strange, but it's, you know, when you enjoy their music so much and they're so talented, it's, to me, it's nothing unusual to admire them like that, in that way. Sorry.
Band. So being negatively judged by others is, in a sense, a way of setting us apart as a group. And it also helps to solidify us as a group as well. You'll see what I mean with these following clips.
I've gone to bat for BTS a number of times, especially for armies a couple of times, because there have been a number of people who've said things like, oh, this is all young girls. And I said,
sorry, I have to pause for a moment. The phone's ringing. Can we pause? No, it won't let me pause. I'll just try and ignore it. There we go.
well, you know, I'm a retired Marine and retired business executive, and now I'm 73. I'm a 73-year-old man. So what have you done, Sonny?
I didn't care what people said about me, what they accused me of. Oh, you just like little boys. You know, they made snarky little comments like that. Put it all out of my mind, because the message was speak yourself. The message was be positive.
My first Billboard Awards, I got myself to the 2017 Billboard, and a bunch of teenage girls were in front of me, and I said, hello, armies, or something like this, and they turned around and looked at me and literally pulled back like this and huddled together and turned away from me and ran. I thought, oh, that's weird, that's right, I must look old to them.
So we can see that there's some negativity that's being communicated to the older BTS fans by the younger ones, but this shouldn't really reflect badly on the younger BTS fans. Not really. This is normal social psychological behavior. In other words, we know in psychology that when you're a member of a group, you tend to see your own group as the in group.
Yep.
And the other people are simply outsiders. It's a way psychologically of creating your own identity and building a kind of buffer against those who see you as different. But interestingly, we can flip that and say that the elder army also sees ourselves or themselves as the in group. We have a special sense of uniqueness.
Yeah, I agree with that. And when you think about it, when the majority of their fans are very young, and especially like young teenagers and things, what do teenagers do? I think anyone over 30 is ancient. So you've just got to realise that, well, we're different. We do. I mean, we are fans, probably just as much fans as the teenagers, but I think we're a lot more realistic as well. And, you know, we realise that as adults, as older adults, and I mean, we all had our pop stars and things when we were younger, and had dreams of meeting them one day and getting married to them and all this sort of stuff, which I don't know, maybe not everyone did that, but I did. But you realise that when you're older as well, that's just not going to happen. And I think that a lot of the younger fans have this idea that if I only can get close enough to them, and their bias will fall in love with them and won't want anyone else and all this thing. And I think that's where, as an older person, your life experience comes into it and you're more realistic about stuff like that. We know that's not going to happen. We probably wouldn't really want that to happen anyway, but when you're younger, you see it differently, and you see a lot of them do see other fans as rivals as well. So, yeah.
That we see that as separating us from other groups as well. You know, aging brings isolation, social or psychological isolation in advancing years, and that could be a really serious detriment to one's psychological and emotional health. The Silver Army community is really
Yeah. The thing is, isolation really doesn't worry me. I enjoy being on my own. It's nice to have a group that you can relate to or whatever, but I actually quite enjoy being on my own. So at this stage, I mean, maybe in the future isolation will be a big problem for me, but really I quite enjoy it because I can enjoy listening to music and reading and doing other things without having to worry about what other people are doing.
A tremendous antidote to those feelings. Engaging in this community helps us satisfy our needs for social connection, for belonging, and for acceptance.
It's opened this whole new world of friendships, and when I say whole world, I mean the whole world. I now chat like every single day, literally, with friends from the Philippines to Alaska to New Zealand. I love being Army.
I can't emphasize enough, having an online community that you participate in and have friendships on is like a shot in the arm as far as receiving a sense of well-being and positive mental health. It's a good thing for sure. And last but not least, being an elder BTS fan brings a wisdom and understanding that only years of life experience can bring. I want you to listen now to how years of experience, life experiences, have brought such an illuminating perspective on BTS. Check this out.
Everybody's allowed to enjoy that, no matter what your age is, or the color of your skin, or your gender identity, or who you love. You know, you don't get to dictate who gets to love them. There's enough music to go around. And music that makes you happy is what the world needs right now more than anything.
We need more of what they're doing to educate young people. Just imagine, here are these guys, and they're causing people to say, oh, what are they reading? I have to know what that is, and I have to study that. I mean, what a phenomenal turn of events to be able to cause people to want to learn.
Let your kids love BTS. Encourage them to love BTS. They will make friends online. They will make friends in the groups that you go to movie theaters together. They will make friendships that will last a lifetime. They are loving, good people. Growing up with BTS as an influence, I think, is absolutely the best way for any youngster to grow up right now.
You've just heard years of life experience speaking there. Very cool. I want to say thank you to Silver Army. I want to say thank you to the Titas and all the other elder BTS fans who are out there and have created a very positive community for others and for themselves, for ourselves. So guys, if you've enjoyed my content today, I would really appreciate it if you would press the subscribe button, and I look forward to sharing some more with you in a little bit. Peace out, everybody.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Harley. That was really interesting. I enjoyed that. A lot of good points too, and yeah, I think with BTS, I think they are good people and very caring people as well. I just hope that the global fame and success doesn't change that in them. I hope they don't become cynical, maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're good people, and I think they're spreading a good message to everyone. And they're lots of fun too. I mean, who hasn't seen lots of videos of them doing stupid stuff? And they're having a ball, and their fans have a ball watching, and it's just so much fun. So yeah, they're good people, and I love them, and I know lots of other people do, although I don't really know anybody at the moment who does locally. But like I said previously, I don't mind being solitary or a loner or a bit different to other people. I mean, and the purple hair and all that sort of stuff's not new for me. I've been putting different colours in my hair for 40 years or whatever, so all that sort of stuff is not unusual for me. And can't really see the purple very well in this lighting, but I actually had a gorgeous purple car when I was about 20, so I didn't like the car very much, just loved the colour. So purple's always been my favourite. And as for being different to people around my own age, one of my very, very favourite songs back in the old days when I was about maybe 5, it's actually the very first favourite song that I can remember is, I won't play the whole thing, I'll just play a little clip if I can get it up here. Here we go. You'll probably recognise it. It was apparently #1 in Japan in 1961. There we go. So yeah, that's my very first favourite song that I can remember. when I was maybe about 5, maybe 4 or 5, and it was a song that I always thought was a really happy song until I actually saw it on YouTube and read the lyrics, and it's not a happy song at all. But I still love it, and a long time later, over 50 years later, I still love it. So yes, I was listening to that when I was very young, probably when my other friends around the same age were listening to kindergarten songs and things. So yeah. Alrighty, well thank you very much, and I'm really looking forward to the D-Day concert tonight. So, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and check out Dr. Harley and see what you think. That was a really interesting video. It's good to hear someone else talk about their enjoyment of BTS as well, especially a psychologist. I have actually seen him doing videos with his nephew and doing reaction videos with his nephew, and they're really good as well. And I'm sorry I can't remember the name of his nephew's channel, but I'm sure if you check out Dr. Harley, it won't be too hard to find the other reaction videos with his nephew. Anyway, thanks so much. Bye.